Hey beauty babes, welcome to my channel. I am Maria, aka Agape Love Girl. Thank you so much for joining me today. Well, today I'm very excited to share with you my very own custom created lipsticks that I created with the Pixi PR package I received. You may recall seeing this in a lip swatch video I shared recently featuring all of the Pixi Beauty Matte Last liquid lipsticks. So if you haven't seen that, I will have it linked in the eye. Definitely check it out. But anyways, that package also included a few other things as seen in this clip here. In addition to that, like I said, there is another portion of this PR package. So what I was sent was several little pots of lip pigment, and then I was also sent this little empty jar. So what I can do, and I think this is so cool and so much fun, is come up with my own lip color and then send it in to Pixi Beauty. They actually sent me a little envelope so I could put that in there for a chance of them picking my own lip color that I've created, and I just think that's so cool. Now originally I wasn't planning on doing a whole YouTube video for my custom shade creation, but I had so much fun that I ended up creating 3 shades, and I figured why not share that here. So that's what I'll be sharing in today's video. But I wanted to let you know that you too can also create your own shade, even without this PR package. After I looked more into the rules, I found out that anyone can enter, and you don't need to use the custom mix kit that I got. You can actually use any of the 11 existing Matte Last liquid lip shades. You can see the information on the screen here, but I will also have a link in the description box to all the rules and all the info if you would like to learn more. And with that, let's get into my lip creations. I had mentioned in my lip swatch video that I really wanted a deep, opaque burgundy wine shade. So that is what I set out to do first, using the white, red, and brown mixing colors. And since I read that we can use the existing shades, I knew I had to add Berry Boost, since it inspired yet lacked what I really wanted in a color. And then I went ahead and added Prettiest Pink. I just thought that bright pink shade would be a pretty touch. So I started out with just a nice little scoopful of each shade initially, just to see how the colors would start to form. And I was surprised that pretty much right off the bat the color turned out almost exactly how I had imagined. So I did a little test swatch off camera and felt it wasn't as opaque as I had wanted it. If you recall in my swatch video, I talked about Berry Boost being much more sheer and not as deep of a color as I was expecting. So I wanted to make sure that this one was dark, vampy, and opaque right off the bat. So I added just a touch more white to help. After that, it was perfect and ready to be jarred up. So now for the big reveal. Here's how it looks swatched on my lips. That opacity is just so satisfying, don't you think? By the way, if anybody's curious, to swatch I used disposable doe foot applicators that I purchased on Amazon a while back. I can link them in the description if you would like. But I like to keep these handy for when I'm doing someone else's makeup, and they came in handy for me here. Anyway, so this is the first shade. I love the way it turned out. This is exactly the perfect berry wine shade that I had imagined. The color is rich, vampy, the perfect wine shade that's not too red, not too purple, not too bright. It's literally just right. Now, what to name this one? I'm really kind of leaning towards calling it Rosewood, just because the roseness kind of goes with the theme of the Pixi lipsticks. But I'm also kind of leaning towards making it my namesake and calling it Agape Love. But I don't know, I'm not sure. So I'd love to know your guys' thoughts on this shade and the name. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to the next shade. So for this one, I didn't have any specific shade in mind to create. I sort of just wanted to mix colors and see what I would come up with. But I was also sort of leaning towards creating somewhat of a neutral or nude-ish shade, yet something different than what they already had to offer, since they do already have quite a variety of pinky nudes. So I started off with the red and white base shades, which we all know makes the color pink. And this one ended up being quite a dark pink. So I wanted to lighten it up and make it a little bit more nude. So I decided to add more white, yellow, and then brown to the mix. This mix was still darker than I wanted and almost just like too similar to some of the existing Pixi shades, so I threw in a lot more white. Next, I wanted to make it a bit brighter and not so cool tone, so I added a touch of yellow, and after mixing I still was unsure of the color. It just wasn't anything special that was speaking to me. It was still just a little too pink, a little too basic, so I went for bold and added a heap of brown. Swirled it up and did a test swatch, again off camera, and ended up loving the result of this one. It was kind of unexpected because I literally had no idea what I would be creating, or that I would even create this kind of shade with the colors I mixed. But once I swatched it, I knew it was perfect. You guys ready for the big reveal? All right, here goes the swatch. Did you guys expect that? I ended up with a gorgeous plummy nude shade, and I just adore this one. I knew it was right because it's actually a shade that's completely missing from the Matte Last range. They don't have any purpley shades at all. And the fact that this shade, in my opinion, is like a very wearable purple toned lip color is what makes it so perfect. This is a color that I imagine would look really great on a wide variety of skin tones. As you can see, I'm medium to medium tan skin tone, and it's a little bit dark on me, but not like too bold. So I imagine it would be a nice bold neutral on someone with lighter skin than I, and also be a gorgeous, more neutral nude shade on someone with deeper skin. And I love this shade. I didn't think I would love this shade as much as I do, but I totally do. I'd love to know what you guys think. And for the name, I'm kind of thinking of Plum Pop or Sugar Plum. I know those are totally basic, but you know, I'm not that great with names, so feel free to chime in on names if you want. Alright, for my last creation, I actually did have a specific shade in mind for this one. I wanted something bright and bold, a gorgeous, vibrant coral pink, something between the shades Prettiest Pink and Orange Red. So of course, those are the two shades I started with. And by the way, I couldn't quite figure out the lighting for my setup here. You may have already noticed, but all of my mixing clips are darker than True to Life, and the colors may look a bit off. So be sure to watch my swatch video to see the existing lip colors more True to Life. Anyways, you may recall that in my swatch video that these two shades were more on the sheer side, and I wanted the shade I created to be more opaque. So I went in with quite a bit of white to add to the mix. Actually, I used the rest of the white that I had left. And the result was pretty, but still not what I had envisioned. So I added some yellow and a small touch of red. After mixing, it still wasn't quite right, so I added a little bit more red and yellow. Once I was done, I kind of felt like the shade still wasn't quite what I had hoped. It was still a bit sheer and a little too dark, but I was pretty much out of white. So I decided just to add the shade to the empty white jar, or the jar of the empty white mix, to get every last bit of the white that I could. Then again, added more yellow to brighten it up and make it a little less pink. After that, I decided more yellow was needed and then just a touch more red. And after mixing, I decided this shade would just have to do. At first swatch, I wasn't sure if I was happy with this color, but once it dried down, the color darkened up just a touch and it ended up being perfect. I will say though that because of my quest to make the shade opaque, it did make this more of a thick formula, so it didn't quite feel as lightweight and as comfortable as like the regular matte lash shades. But maybe if this color is picked as a winner, I mean, I know that's a long shot, but still, if it is, we could always tweak it to make the formula more better is kind of what I'm hoping. So anyways, speaking on the color alone though, I'm seriously sort of obsessed with the vibrancy of it. I love that it's not too pink nor too orange. It's literally the perfect coral shade, in my opinion of course, that would be perfect to wear in the summer. And that actually brings me to what I decided to name this one. I decided that Summer Rose would be the perfect name. Again, I feel like rose, you know, would go along with the matte lash theme. They got a lot of rosy shades. It's got the rosehip oil in it. And then summer because it's a perfect summer shade. So don't you think? I don't know. Anyways, that is it for my lip creations. I really hope you enjoyed seeing the colors I created and the process and thinking behind each shade. I would love to know which shade or shades you like the best. Feel free to share your thoughts on the names. Also, if you end up entering the contest and sharing your creation on Instagram, please tag me at Agape Love Girl because I would love to see what you've created and show you guys some love. So anyways, with all that being said, I just want to thank you so much for watching, and until next time, much love and hugs to you. Bye, beauty babes. Mwah!